main products that are being exported. We can facilitate and assist you, but you are the ones that have to make the business decisions to do it. Basically, we have only a few objectives. One is to help you, the businesses, enter, expand in the marketplace overseas. And one of the ways we do it is trade shows and trade exhibitions. We do several around the world. Most recently, we're looking at, David was down in Brazil to do one in the fall in Brazil. So again, if you're not getting our emails, where we're going, this is a very cost-effective way for you to enter the marketplace overseas. We host foreign buyers and foreign delegations in the state and introduce these individuals to Delaware businesses as appropriate. We also host government officials. One of the things we do is we increase information to Delawareans through education. We developed an ABCs of Exporting back 15 years ago, and the World Trade Center very happily and effectively now continues that, involving more and more service providers. So we want to thank you for that, Rebecca. We also, one of the other things, that, other than export, we actually go and identify potential investors in the state and bring those investors to invest in the state of Delaware. We liaison with the federal government, agencies across the board, including the Department of Commerce, domestically and internationally, and we also have very strong relationships with some of the foreign delegations in the United States, embassies and commercial offices, and we have direct contact with foreign governments overseas. Not everywhere, because we're a small team, but where Delaware businesses go, our relationships are personal, and they have been developed over the past 15 years. So if you will do business in Asia, you will find out that eBay, the web is really great, but if you're going to do business there, you need a personal relationship in the long run. What do we do? We actually can help, will help small business in developing an export strategy, depending on the product, help you identify markets, give you information on market research techniques. We're not going to do it for you. You're going to have to do it yourself. And I have to tell you, this is not magic. There's no magic to it. You do it 2 or 3 times, and you'll be ready to do it more. In the beginning, companies come to us weekly. Then all of a sudden, we don't hear from them unless there is a problem. And then we will show them the direction how to resolve that problem, and profit grows, business grows. These are the different things that we can help you with directly, and directly focus you on where you can get one-on-one personal attention. As I mentioned, we travel around the world. Here's a photograph with Governor Markell in several different locations. The first one is Motec, a company that came to Delaware, Newark. At that time, the local company had 75 employees. They now have 155. And they are starting to export photovoltaic equipment overseas, not only in the domestic market. Fraunhofer, originally that Fraunhofer, many of you have known in Delaware, originally December of 2000, we visited Fraunhofer and convinced them, and the legislators convinced them to come to the state of Delaware. Now they have a building with, Brian, a couple hundred employees probably, and it's a major, you read about it in the newspaper 3, 4, 5 times a year by getting money from Gates Foundation, NIST, federal government. And these are the last years, we visited these people last year, and we also met with a group of businesses in Hamburg, Germany, because Germany is still a pretty good partner for Delaware to promote the state and to get Delaware businesses to be recognized in Germany. It's an interesting photograph because I don't see Secretary Skuse here, but on your left is a little brochure that we did when we visited Cuba in 2007. We took a group of companies from Delaware, led by then Delaware Secretary Michael Skuse, and I can tell you right now that the 2 poultry companies, Montero and Purdue, in the state of Delaware, export chickens to Cuba today, multi-millions of dollars. So when we go on a trade mission, it's very cost effective to the company. Secretary Skuse, I just mentioned that you did lead the delegation. Just make sure you know.
Thanks, John.
And these companies,
successful too.
Definitely, I was just mentioning that. These companies are exporting today in real millions and millions of dollars. One advantage in this transaction, when Secretary Squeeze says was successful, is basically only agricultural and medical products can be exported to Cuba. And the Cuban must pay up front, no accounts receivable. That means the cash must be deposited in the U.S. bank before cargo can leave the United States. On the right-hand side is David. We not only do physical product movement or exports, we also do tourism exports. A month ago, we were in Beijing, China, promoting Delaware tourism, and China is one of the leading areas where we're putting effort in because that's where the money is, that's where the investment and buyers are coming from. Here's another example of a trade show last November in China, and I purposely placed this in the middle as you can see it, because we not only partner with governments, we also partner with the private sector overseas. Last May, we partnered with Forbes China to do a seminar to promote Delaware exports and Delaware investments. Forbes China happens to be also one of the largest media mogul in China. Also happens to publish the China Daily and many other publications. So we partner with the private sector to promote Delaware and Delaware exports. The bottom three photographs is last year we hosted many delegations. These are from China, where our Secretary of State, Jeffrey Bullock, is making a presentation to them. And after these meetings, the last photograph is a local company making a presentation. Local companies make presentations depending on who the visitors are, and we introduce them to local companies to do business. We have developed fairly good relationships, very good relationships with some of these countries. The ones that are moving, they continue to be moving. They're ongoing. And when we say we have developed relationships, it means that we could pretty well get to a pretty high level in the executive field or in the government of these countries and to meet businesses. It's, as I said, we've been around for 15 years. We're fairly well recognized, and some of the people around the world, federal government staff move back and forth from different locations, and we have developed these very strong relationships. The bottom three is developing. As I mentioned, David was in Brazil last week. We're going to organize a delegation to a trade show, Analytica, in September. If you want more information, I'm more than happy to give it to you. And India and Vietnam, we're developing very strong ties. Very brief photograph. We don't do this by ourselves. There's only 3 of us. We partner with other Delaware resources. And I had to put it in a pipeline, because what we would like to do is feed every small business into this pipeline to come out at the other end to create exports, because exports create jobs. And our cookies are counted by jobs. We want more jobs in Delaware. So some of our partners, many of our partners are here, and through the system, we help the small businesses. If you need a business plan, I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not doing it. Small Business Development Technology Center will do it for you. And when you're ready to move toward the export, then you're going to come and talk to us. So we have a network of local partners to do this. And we also use the international services of the Department of Commerce to facilitate and assist Delaware businesses. So very briefly, we will continue to help small and medium-sized businesses to export, because I personally think the future of America and the survival of the United States and of Delaware is based on the growth and expansion of small business. And about 30 years ago, mentioned to Courtney, 30 years ago, I have a photograph of a couple of people sitting in a garage somewhere, and I normally show that how many people would make investments. And the person sitting on a desk, his glasses were cockeyed. The next slide is to show you who that person is. It's Bill Gates. So we never know when the next small business comes up, but we want to help everybody take that opportunity and grow and stay developed. Thank you.